Right now in the U.S., virtually all new COVID deaths and hospitalizations are among unvaccinated people. Doctors say they're seeing more and more young people hospitalized with the virus. And COVID vaccines have been approved for emergency use in anyone over the age of 12. But only 25% of 12 to 15-year-olds are fully vaccinated right now. Less than 40% of 16 and 17-year-olds. And that's one of the reasons that Dr. Michelle Fiskus, Tennessee's top immunization official, wrote a memo that suggested some teenagers might be able to get vaccinated against COVID without their parents' permission. State Republicans were quick to accuse Fiskus of applying, quote, peer pressure to get young kids vaccinated. Now, Fiskus says she was fired after simply doing her job of raising vaccine awareness among teenagers. The health department that fired her is putting an end to all vaccine outreach for teens for all diseases, not just COVID. And joining me now is Dr. Michelle Fiskus, who until yesterday served as Tennessee's medical director for vaccine preventable diseases and immunization programs. Doctor, it's great to have you in the program. I thought maybe we just first start with telling us what was your job? What was your role in the public health agency there, particularly in with respect to COVID in the state of Tennessee?
Well, as medical director of the Tennessee Vaccine Preventable Diseases and Immunization Program, I was responsible for the Vaccines for Children program, which is an entitlement program for children who are insured by Medicaid or don't have insurance to make sure that they can get the immunizations they need. I'm responsible for the Tennessee Immunization Information System, which is the immunization registry for the state. And I'm responsible for vaccine preventable disease outbreak mitigation and response. So hepatitis A outbreaks, measles outbreaks, and then eventually COVID-19 became a vaccine preventable disease. And I was responsible for the rollout of that vaccine across the state and to make sure that that was done equitably and in a way that any Tennessean who wanted to access the vaccine would be able to get one.
From your perch, what have the challenges been in your state to getting a higher vaccination rate than what you currently have?
Well, we've had several. Initially it was vaccine supply. Fortunately, that is no longer an issue. Then it became getting providers to be willing to give the vaccines because there have been challenges just with logistics of dry ice storage and large quantities for minimum orders with some of the vaccines. And then there is vaccine hesitancy, which we have seen in different ways. Some folks that are unsure about the government, unsure about the vaccine, but are vaccine hesitant and willing to have conversations with their providers, willing to listen to information that's given to them. And then this political divide or this kind of toxic politicization of COVID-19 and the vaccine, where we now have our most hesitant population being rural, male, conservative whites, who really do hang their hat on this political ideology that COVID-19 isn't real, isn't a threat, or that getting the vaccine somehow props up the left-wing part of our political system. And so it's really that politicization of public health and in people's choosing not to protect themselves that has been the biggest challenge for us to overcome.
So you were discussing, I understand, memorializing sort of what the legal authority, what the sort of parameters were for vaccine outreach to teenagers. And that's what triggered this firestorm that led to your firing or resignation. What happened?
So, on the cusp of the Pfizer vaccine becoming available for children 12 years and older, I began to receive questions from some of our COVID-19 vaccine providers across the state about what they were to do if a child showed up unaccompanied to receive a vaccine. And they just weren't sure where the lines were. So I reached out to our Office of General Counsel at Department of Health. I was given language around Tennessee's mature minor doctrine, which is case law from 1987, a Tennessee Supreme Court ruling that children ages 14 and older can receive medical care under their own consent without the consent of their parent. And I took that language that I was told in an email was blessed by the governor's office and that I could share with anyone that I so choose, put it into an email to our COVID-19 providers and sent it out. And over time, over a very short period of time, there was some backlash from some of our providers who felt that that was an inappropriate email or memo to put out, that the information shouldn't have been shared, and that it was somehow targeting our youth, even though this was a memo sent to our medical providers, like every other memo we send to our medical providers. That then sparked some backlash from some members of our legislature who went so far as to call for the dissolution of the State Department of Health because of this information that I had shared. And that has now devolved into the Department of Health not only pulling back on messaging to teenagers about getting COVID-19 vaccine, but creating barriers for their ability to access the vaccine, and now has devolved into a moratorium on messaging for any kind of vaccine to children, whether that's infants or children for back to school vaccines or HPV vaccines, and even canceling school-based flu immunization clinics scheduled for the fall as a result of the saber rattling amongst some of our legislators.
So you basically check the legality. You send the state Supreme Court decision of Tennessee, right, to say this is what the law says, right? This backlash ensues. You are then fired quickly in the last little bit here. Who fired you?
I was fired by the Commissioner of Health via a letter that was delivered to me by the Chief Medical Officer of the department and a member of the Human Resources team. I was offered the opportunity to resign or to be terminated, and I have done my job very well, serving the people of Tennessee, and that is my job, and so I chose to be terminated.
I want to read, you said, I've been terminated for doing my job because some of our politicians have bought into the anti-vaccine misinformation campaign rather than taking the time to speak with medical experts. I'm afraid for my state. I'm angry for the amazing people at Tennessee Department of Health who have been mistreated by an uneducated public and leaders who have their own interests in mind. Dr. Michelle Fiscus, I am sorry that happened to you, but thank you so much for the work you've done and for making time tonight.
Thanks for having me, Chris.